One that's just come in here. How do you determine if a man really loves you?
Yeah.
Because I'm really scared choosing someone to be with for the rest of my life. I don't want to experience again hurtfully as my ex did before. How do you determine if a man really loves you? I think that's a great question.
Okay. Well, let me throw out something really quick here, because this right here. I don't want to experience hurt feelings like I did with my ex before. And I think that the truth is that if you are wanting to have a real relationship, if you are wanting to fall in love with somebody, that risk is absolutely necessary. And that even though you don't want to experience the hurt feelings again, you will get hurt in the relationship. And I think that it's important just to realize that rather than think that there is some type of relationship that you can have where you can't get hurt. Because if we try to enter into a relationship and we're thinking, okay, the right one is the one where I'm not going to get hurt, then we end up bringing strategies where we're avoiding fights. We're avoiding telling the truth. Right. We're showing up fragile and we're not allowing our partners to give us the truth.
Yep.
And so by trying to avoid being hurt, trying to avoid pain in a relationship, the relationship itself becomes incredibly brittle because it's not dimensionalized. It doesn't have our full self, our full emotional expression. So that would be the first aspect, is just to perhaps begin to see that if you're wanting deep love with somebody, that pain is inevitable. It's going to come with that, and that the pain is actually evidence of the depth of intimacy that you can create with somebody, and it's not evidence that something is wrong. Now, granted, there can be certain other types of pain that you might experience if you're dating a narcissist or you're the victim of abuse, and being able to recognize the difference between growing pains that come from two people getting to know each other, and ones of perhaps manipulation, abuse, being able to discern that is incredibly important. Was there something you were going to say about that?
Well, how to determine if a man really loves you. That, I think, is the ability to work out if someone's talking from their heart. So it's like having a real heart-to-heart with someone, and knowing if what you're hearing is someone speaking from their vulnerable heart. And normally, if someone's speaking and it's you can sense if it's a little bit up here, right? Like it might be a little like I'm trying to tell you the thing that you want to hear, or I'm a little dissociated from what I'm saying. If someone's really in their heart, normally there's a realness to what they're saying. And it's like a sound. It's like learning that sound of realness. And I think you might also want to distinguish, I think we can love lots of people. And you might want to distinguish, does this person A, love me, and B, are they actually wanting to commit to me and be my man, and everything that could imply? Because one of the distinctions that we make in the Relationship Ready program is between partnership and lovership. And I'm not going to go into too much detail about that here, but just to say, oftentimes people mistake lovership for partnership, and they say, well, he loved me. And the truth is, he does and did love you. But that may not mean that he's ready and available for a committed relationship with you. So you need both, right? Love without commitment is not what you're going to want in order to open your heart over the long term. Might be an amazing whirlwind romance, might be a great friend. But partnership, which I think most of you tuned in now are going to want, is a different thing. And you've got to learn how to ask the right questions to tune into. Is this guy available for partnership? And is he available for partnership with me? Does he want to show up day in, day out for me?
Right. So what I hear you saying then, to put even to underscore some of that dynamic, I hear you talking about consistency.
Yes.
And there's a certain level of depth and deepening that is occurring. So consistency and deepening. And if the consistency and the deepening are not there, like you have one but out the other, right? You can have a deepening that occurs, and it can be really confusing because there's this emotional depth that you might have with the person. You're like, wow, it's real.
Yes.
I feel something. I know they feel something. Yes. But they've got a girlfriend or they've got a wife on the side.
Right. Or they're just not in a situation where it's right for them to be in a committed partnership.
Right.
Right. Because there's different stages of a man's development.
Yes.
And not at every stage is he available for partnership. And most people miss that. And to be honest, most men miss that about themselves. I miss that about myself. So I didn't realize at times in my previous history that I would talk the talk, but I wasn't available for partnership.
Right.
So I've hurt women. So I apologize on behalf of men. I've done this. I've been a shitty guy because I couldn't work out in my own heart the difference between being a lover and a partner. So that's part of why I do this work, is to make good on that.
Absolutely. Yeah. And I've done that too. I've done that too. I've been down that same road where it can feel like you're ready, and then as you get deeper and deeper, I start to experience other levels of my heart, and suddenly I hit like a wall, or I hit a place where it's like, wow, I can't go any further. And this is unfortunate because I could not have foreseen that this was going to happen.
Yes.
Right. It's like I thought that I was ready until I realized that I wasn't. And this is where things can get really confusing, because it can be like, well, God, is he playing games?
Right.
Right. Is he doing this because I'm not valuable enough? If I was more valuable, if I was pretty enough, if I was just doing something different with him, would he be ready? And one of the deepest lessons here, in my opinion, that we talk about in our coaching as well as in the Becoming the One course, is not taking it personally, and being able to, because the minute you start taking it personally, what ends up happening is you start thinking that you have more control over the situation than you actually do. And you start showing up in a way that is where you're not able to actually clearly see what's happening, because you're in the way of the reality, right? You're seeing it, you're seeing what's happening through your own insecurities, rather than witnessing that you're in front of a guy that's actually just not relationally fit for the time being.
Totally. He's not relationship ready.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Okay.
That's a good question.